Hey friends. First, an apology. I'm sorry that it's taken me 3 weeks to do this video. The past 3 weeks in the US has been insane, and creating content has been really hard. And I'm also dealing with transitioning a kiddo to online school. And so, yeah, my time has not been my own. But I am here. I promise I'm going to do better in the future. And let's get into the book club. So this time we were reading The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School by Sonora Reyes. Sonora, if you're watching this, I adored this book. I absolutely love it. It's the perfect thing to be reading right now when we are looking to resist with joy and lift up our queer community and lift up our immigrant community. And it was just beautiful. Yeah, I loved it. I listened to it on audiobook through Libro FM, and the audiobook is fantastic too. I kept going back to the hard copy though to reference certain bits while I was like trying to game plan and think about what we're gonna create here in terms of an art piece. And so yeah, before I get into all the specifics, if you have not read the book yet and you want to be a part of this creative process, go and read it and then come back to this video. It's a super quick read. It's beautiful and joyful and hard in parts and very, very real. Okay, so let's get into it. So the whole point of this book club is, yes, all of the queer resistance and joy and all those things, but we're creating art together. So we get to work together and collaborate on a crystallized book that I'm gonna create. I'll give you my ideas in this video of different components from the book that I think we can really bring out into the 3D representation in a sculptural piece. And I want you to go down in the comments and comment anything that you think I missed, anything that I mentioned that you think I should like really double it down on and definitely include. What were the most important relationships for you in the book? Do you want me to focus more on, you know, the queer representation or the immigrant representation or anything? Just give me your comments, give me your feedback, and then I'm gonna create an art piece using some of that feedback and we'll see what we come out with, and I'll keep you included along the way. So things that really stood out to me. First of all, she's switching schools from a public school to a private Catholic school, right? The first thing that pops out to me is the school uniform. I went to 2 different Catholic high schools and both had basically the same uniform, slightly different colors, but it's always the plaid skirt, right? So I want to include the plaid skirt somehow. I can't keep the dust cover on these books when I go to crystallize them. So unfortunately, as beautiful as it is, I love this cover. It's gotta go for crystallization purposes. So then we're left with a blank pink cover and gold title. So I'm thinking I'm gonna cover the cover, leaving the title still, but the cover in the back probably with that Catholic school skirt plaid. Then on the inside, I'll figure out how to fold my pages after I figure out what I want to include. But there's several things. First, I really want to make sure that I've got that like cultural representation in there because it played such a huge part in terms of Yami feeling accepted and also Bo kind of discovering her cultural heritage, and both of them having kind of the earring thing. You know, Yami wearing those gold hoops and having it really be like this defining moment for her in terms of deciding almost like which friends were not really friends and which friends were not gonna get her. I felt like the gold hoops really played a role. So I want to include a gold hoop, and I kind of really want to include the hoops that she made for Bo, the purple hoops with the Chinese knot in them. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find any, so I might need to make those on my own and figure that out. So that could be a artistic hurdle, but we learn as we go. Other things that I really want to include is, you know, obviously Yami's relationship with Caesar is so important. And so I want to include the words in Lak'ech somewhere. I'm not sure how yet, but that feels important to me. Also, I would love to include the banner, the papel picado that her mom makes when Caesar's coming home from the hospital. I would love to include that kind of like as a banner across the book, because it's really it's the big sign of acceptance, right? It's like their mom showing her allyship. The only thing is those are typically made out of tissue paper and they're very fragile, and I wouldn't be able to crystallize something like that, but I could definitely include it across the book after I crystallize it. So that's another thing. I have to decide, you know, what am I including before and what am I including after the crystallization process is done. So yeah, I'd have to figure that out. And then, you know, what should it say on it? The papel picado, should it have like a floral pattern, or should it say ally in it maybe? Yeah, so, and also I don't know how to make one of those. So I'd probably try to find somebody online who makes miniature ones. And then what else? I think the last thing that I was really thinking of potentially including was something with like her beaded jewelry. That could be kind of cool to include, but also I don't want it to be like too much, right? Just in terms of like too many components. And so I'd need to narrow it down and figure out, okay, which of these really fit and which ones would I want to include and which relationships do I want to focus on, and that sort of thing. So anyway, again, comment in the comments, let me know what you think I missed. If you think that there's something else that I should be, you know, really focused on, if there's any other components that you think could be really brought out, I would love to hear from you. And then, yeah, if you haven't read it yet, I really, really highly recommend it. It was a beautiful read. It was really sweet and really hard in parts, and deals with, you know, lots of themes of immigration and not being accepted for a variety of reasons. Obviously, the lesbian queer theme all throughout. It deals with suicide. So if that's something that's triggering for you, just keep that in mind. But yeah, it was really beautiful and I can't wait to work with you guys. So let me know what you think, and then I'll keep you updated as to progress. And stay tuned, because I'm going to make another video very, very soon with our next book. This process is going to take a little while. It takes like several weeks for it to dry and for me to be able to finish it. So I'd say at this point, we're probably at least a month away from having a finished product, maybe even closer to 6 weeks, depending. But I'm going to give you all at least a few days to comment on this, and then I'll get to work. So, all right. Thanks, everyone. Love you, and keep resisting and keep spreading joy, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah.